Well, welcome into a very exciting episode of The Scene. I'm your host, Bubba Startz, and with me today is TNG313. What's up, homie? How you doing?
Man, what's up, OG? How you doing, man?
I'm good, brother. I'm good. Well, I was fortunate enough to get to meet your old man and chat with him a little bit, but I want to know about you. So why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are and what it is that you do?
Man, I'm an artist. Work with rap. I work with all genres of music. I don't kind of put myself in one box. So, I'm a chef on the side, a father. I started doing this music stuff when I was like 6 years old, and it runs in my family. My grandmother sang background for like Haley Bell and people like that. And it's just I was raised in the church as well, so music's always been there, and it helped me a lot through life. It's been a major part of my life.
I feel you there, man. I mean, my grandma used to play the accordion at Christmas time and give us all sheet music, and we'd all be singing carols. And so I feel that family vibe and having that in the house, and then always having that outlet has been so special to me in my career. So I feel you.
It's like the perfect way to communicate or express yourself, whether someone already wrote the song or you write it. You know what I mean? Like, whether you're trying, like, if you're not good with emotion and talking to, you can be shy. You know what I mean? Talking to girls or whatever, or like I said, dealing with emotion. You can find a song or play a song that someone could have made or you make to express everything that's hard for you to already express, to still communicate with another person to fully understand or get an idea of how you are. You know?
For the 100%. So I know you're down there in Texas. What's the scene like for you there?
It's I'm still like breaking out, but my name it's around. I get a lot of open mic shows and things. I'm available to do. I've been available to do. South by Southwest is another great out way of networking and getting music out there, and I perform there. Last year a couple of times, and again we'll be doing it again this year. And yeah, but I got future shows coming up with other companies I've been working with, just waiting on dates and times. But the scene is it's been pretty good. It's been pretty good and loving, welcoming.
Are you around the Austin area then?
I'm in between Austin and San Antonio. I'm in New Braunfels.
I actually I got a friend that stays out there.
Hey, for yo.
Yeah, and then I just hooked up with Donnie Darko, the strange one, and
Oh yeah.
I'm sure you're familiar. And yeah, it seems like the scene in Texas right now is really popping, and not just in hip hop, but all music.
Oh yeah, and man, a lot of Christian rap, gospel, and a lot of R&B as well. Yeah, like I said, all genres. It's a lot. It's it's booming.
Well, and we talk about God a lot here on our programs, and I know your father. I know his personal relationship, and it's important, and it's nice to see more positivity coming out of the hip hop community now as a whole. And then you branch into Christian music has grown, gospel music, right, has grown to include more of the urban flavors to it as well. So it's really cool to be
Well,
in
oh
this
my
time.
bad. No, true facts. Like I think a lot of people, how like it's just some people listen to some things, some don't. Some expound their minds on other, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's not that Christian rap. I think it's the fact that it's finally been more accepted. It's been there, and there's a lot of good Christian rap artists. It's good music. If you've ever just like stumbled trying to find a station on the radio back, you know what I'm saying? And you're like, oh, that's rap, and then you really listen to it, you're like, man, oh, they talking about God. But before you realize that, you was rocking to it until you're like, oh, wait, they not, so I feel like it's those who like, still stuck to it. It's just like you said, it's been more brought to the forefront, but it's always been there and had a good following or a good following and great music to actually listen to. Like it's not I don't know how other people would judge it, you know, just being however they want to be about it. But yeah, like it's not. I recommend it actually.
Right.
You'll
And
be
I don't.
surprised Christian artists and the way or the type of songs they're making sound just like that same drill beat or that trap beat, but they just talking about God and the way they put it across. Sometimes you might have thought they were talking about female or something. You wouldn't even understand in case you actually listen and get the whole.
Well, and I think that speaks to, traditional worship music. The messages are deeper now. The art forms are evolving, so you have more people with more to say about God, rather than just, the God is great and the awesome God kind of, worship music from the 90s. Now
Yeah,
you have people that you can talk about your issues with God too, right? You can talk about
yeah.
that darkness and mention God in it too. And I think that's where we're at in society these days.
No, yeah, you can be more vocal, more creative with your approach, and more deep on the level of how much you give or put yourself into that song, to let people understand your rapport with God or how you may have came to, become more closer with God or reconnect with God. So it's just
But
all who's there to listen, man.
yeah, well, and my relationship with God is not in a church, right? I have been saved quite literally in this physical realm, and that's what brought me to God. Not a church, not another human being, not anything else. God brought me to God. And I think as more people, especially like me that don't grow up with a religious background, talk about it and talk about that feeling and talk about that love and that grace and all of these things, but having it not come from a religious dogma, I think that makes a difference too. And because we're in the age of the independent artist, that everyone can express their personal relationship with God, right? And I think that's a big, and a lot of what you're talking about is that.
No, yeah, like I said, I was always raised, still believe what you believe in. But I was raised in a church. My grandma was a preacher. My grandfather built the church. Man, all my whole life, into adulthood. But also one thing that they express to you is like God says, "Come as you are." Your temple is a church. Your body's a temple, correct? So church is with you all the time. Anywhere you are, at any moment, you can have a godly experience. So, like you said, how He brought you to Him, and was through Him showing you like you said, you had near death experiences or moments where you're like, man, bro, no, I know God's real because I wouldn't be here right now if He wasn't, or I wouldn't have made it out that situation. Because you look back and like, no, there's no way I could have. No, that's not. So like you said, it manifests in many different ways. Uh, for everybody in their own way. Like everybody has their own relationship with God, so you can't judge the next man on how he may praise or talk, or when he pray, why you pray like that, or however it is that he is God, because everybody relationship different. Like same as you and your friends, me and my friend. Everybody has their own rapport.
And in this age that we're in of podcasts and independent media and independent artists, right? Everybody has the freedom to express that. And I think that's what's really beautiful about this time we're in right now.
It is more openly spoken about than frowned upon. It was one thing of I would hate to say taboo, but for lack of a better word at the moment, I can't think of one. But it's like it was you did that in whisper. Sometimes you might not have been thinking it was cool to be, oh, I'm a Christian or I'm this and that or whatever. People are whatever, bro. So like for it, like I said, it's more openly spoken about, more easily accepted, or it's more which like you said is a good thing for however it is to be mentioned, it's still being mentioned.
Well, and I don't think that the numbers, I don't think there's a different, like, there's more followers now or there's more people that are scared to talk about it. It's really just that culture isn't dominated by these labels or by, like the big music labels. That time is over. right? And you have all these people that can now go record whatever they want to. We can go talk about whatever it is that moves us.
Creative rights, because a lot of people talk about how labels literally try to mold you into their star. So that's why a lot of people might get shelved or never come out, or um that girl, perfect example. Okay, this is about to show age. Remember the old acne commercial? Uh the girl that said, "Who's gonna match my freak?" That song. Remember how long that artist has been a famous recording artist? Before this song coming out now, she used to do an acne commercial. And I can't remember her name as an artist, but she was like 60 young, And it would say her name and then like recording artist, famous recording artist, but you never heard music from her. Now, me as an adult, being 33 now, I hear the "Who's Gonna Match My Freak," and I'm like, hey, that's the acne girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's a whole image. Think of how long she's been, you know what I'm saying, in the industry. And now you're getting some type of recognition. You know what I mean? So it's the same as, like you said, the whole creative process being took from you, or made to have you be, look like, try to play the rich homie Quan aesthetic, or be whatever, you know what I'm saying? Anyone that's not yourself, or let you be yourself, or have your own creative, show your creativity in your music. Like you said, now having that freedom is that's probably one of the best things about being an independent artist, of not having someone tell you really, like, how to be, like,
How to be you.
yeah, lose authenticity. Like,
And
how you gonna tell me how I feel about how this song, or try to write something for me to be? I can't. You know what I'm saying? That's not, bruh. You can't do me like I do me. You know what I'm saying?
no,
So
sir. And I know that, your dad's a one of one too, right? You're a one of one. Like, you can't put any of us in a box and be like, well, you're gonna be like this person. Like, no, I
that's
ain't gonna be
it's not gonna work. And then, like I said, being so strong-willed and mental, like you said, I'm not being there regardless. Like, you couldn't pay me enough to basically sell my soul or sell out in a way of what tomorrow, the next day when I wake up, or I look in that mirror, can I be okay with the person I see? You know what I'm saying? Can you still look at yourself and be like, proud of you, man, you did everything you said you was gonna do? Or you look at yourself and be like, man, you're changing. You don't look, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Real recognize real. You're looking unfamiliar right now, bro.
No, brother. Well, I don't want to keep you all day. Why don't you tell everybody how they can find your music, how they can get a hold of you, and we'll have you back on the show at another time to talk about even more stuff.
No, yeah, I got you. Hey, you can reach me on Instagram at Detroit_TNG. Uh, you can type in TNG313. My music's on all platforms. So I'm just a real hip hop artist. I try to bring real hip hop back, about lyricists and like storytell rap, about actual like rap that has, what I'm saying, context, like, what I'm saying, concept rap, it means something. It's not just, I'm not just talking whatever just to hear myself talk or anything like that. Like, there's a message in there, or I'm literally being real and showing you, inviting, like, letting you know how, like real life, how I've been through it, or how, and it's still relatable for others. So speaking for those sometimes who can't speak for themselves.
Well, TNG, thanks for being part of the scene, brother. I appreciate you.
Man, thanks for having me on the scene, man. Thank you.